Yep. Nope.
Yeah. Okay. So, and last we left you guys, Whistler decided to investigate some pretty butterflies that promptly bit him and killed him. Um, you guys got a new pet, and a lot of people weren't there, so we'll pick up Zashi. You come back. Everyone looks a little distraught. Um, I forgot who got the bag. Who has the bag of devouring?
Me.
Storm has a fairly fancy man purse, and yeah, Daco, you've been observing town around. You've been off discussing some merchant contracts, so you're mildly aware of what's going on. But it's your first time back in town after interacting with your personal missions.
Possibly Zashi and Dako, because Zashi had to run back for her meeting. Might have met up and then headed back out towards the palimpsests to try to find the rest of the party.
Well, they're in the town. They
Okay.
made it back to town, so.
So, where we're starting, are we like meeting up and we're seeing them walking
You're coming
in?
back to the square. No, they've been in town. You guys have been out of town. Sorry.
Okay. All right, so
I would say you guys probably met up on the road coming back in. Because you kind of have to circle around. You don't take the normal road because of the giant black ooze that is slowly creeping its way to town.
Well, in that case, could we start with Zashi and Dako talking?
Sure.
So, Dako, I think that everyone in town is playing a much bigger game than we realize, at least from what I've seen. Currently, the only person that seems to be pretty straightforward with what they are wanting seems to be Kaylee. She's sending material back to someone named Marlowe. No clue who that is.
I can ask around, but I think that I don't know about the size and scope of games, but there certainly are a lot more than one person can keep track of.
Yeah, certainly. Not entirely sure if we want to throw our hand in with any of them yet, but I don't know if the rest of the party has learned anything, but I know that Monk at least is playing some sort of game with us mortals, and I don't know what kind yet.
The kind that's likely to get him killed.
Possibly. If he can be killed.
Ha! I can kill anything.
I don't suppose you've learned anything of worth before we try to hunt the rest of the party down, right?
No, you have, but I'll get offline with that. And Dako's personality you wouldn't share.
No, probably not.
It has to do with your background, Dako.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. And nothing of consequence aside from there's a lot of people who I feel like bloodying noses on.
Isn't that just normal for you, though, Dako?
Fair.
All right, well, hopefully they didn't spend the night out in the palimpsest. Let's try to find them. And we will continue into town and try to find the party.
Okay. They're, as always, pretty easy to spot. Again, you see short little Storm with his Merce, Brutus looking around. What's everybody actually doing? This would be noon of the day we left you guys off last time.
Being sad, but other than that, I don't know. 33's kind of waiting to be given direction.
Lying on my back, not breathing.
There is a. I would actually get me an insight check from both Zashi and Dako.
Insight.
I'm good at that. I am not good at that. Wrong character.
I am.
That is the wrong roll.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Tell me what happened.
See, told
Okay,
you I was-
Dako, you're a little oblivious to everything. Zashi, you can tell they're around the people that are part of the crows. There's a pallor of, I don't know, depression, malaise. Brutus is probably, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Brutus was pretty adamant about what he was doing, so he's probably 3 sheets to the wind by this point at the Flower and Sickle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
You don't
guys.
see Whistler anywhere.
Hi, guys. What's going on? Nice bag storm.
Thank you.
really goes with his boots.
Yep. Where's
And
Whisper.
Sandy is probably with Kaylee right now, doing apprentice stuff. Kaylee's trying to console Sandy as he crocodile tears into her shoulder.
She doesn't buy it.
Yeah. She's kind of half-hearted, but like a there thing.
She's just so loving.
Mm-hmm.
She really is. Looking around. Brutus?
I am assuming I'm just sitting at a bar and drinking and just look over you. Whistler's dead. And I go back to drinking.
What do you mean Whistler's dead?
Whistler's dead. He
What?
died. He's dead.
Dako's just like, called it. And he pulls up a seat beside Dako and turns it around and signals for a drink.
I will also sit down. Well, what happened? I mean, we were thinking Whistler was going to get the rest of you guys into trouble, but he got himself into trouble?
There were butterflies, and they were shitty butterflies, and they killed him.
Sasha, you actually know what they're talking about. You would cross that same bridge getting back. The butterflies were like, they kind of tried to bite you and then got bored and flew off.
Butterflies. I think I know the butterflies you're talking about, but they actually killed Whistler?
He went over to try and catch one, and fair enough, because they were like flapping around, and I guess that's what he likes. And he got over there, and they just swarmed him, and then he dropped, and then he didn't move ever again. He's dead.
Okay, is there anything we can do about it?
Bring him back?
Yeah, but is there anyone strong enough in this area to do it, or do we need to head back to White River?
No. What's the name? That one can do it, and I'll point in the direction. I don't know how exactly to act really drunk. So, let's pretend. That way. That one.
Okay, so I'm guessing that the temple is the only one in that area, or is the forge down that way too?
No, she's pointing towards the temple. The forge is... I mean, technically she's pointing across the street, so there's a lot of things in that area. There's the apothecary, there's the general store, but you're pretty sure he's pointing towards the temple.
Sister Ayame?
Yeah, that one. We've got a week before the body starts to rot. That one's important.
Yeah, that's a little important. She's strong enough to raise the dead?
Said we needed a diamond.
How big of a diamond? Like the one we found, or?
Smaller than that, but big diamond.
Okay. Well, then we should get everyone together and go find one, shouldn't we?
I wanted to, but I start muttering to myself.
At which point, because it's dramatically appropriate, Sandy walks into the bar.
Oh, hey,
that
guys.
one.
Hey, Sandy.
He's gonna act. Don't buy it. It's all bullshit. No buys his bullshit.
I am hurt.
I'm assuming Brutus is this fucking drunk. He's just like, no,
Yeah.
it's all lies. It's all
He's gonna grab
bullshit.
his
He's
face.
gonna pretend he didn't want to spend the money, and now he's acting like it was his fucking idea and just going off on them.
Zashi
I
just
don't
started.
blame you, Brutus. I know you're hurt right now. We'll
We all
talk about
handle-
this later.
We all handle grief differently.
So, Zashi, I'm sure you've heard the bad news.
I have. Did you guys?
Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Let me finish.
Oh, please go ahead.
Unfortunately,
Sorry.
we've lost a very important member
Oh, wait.
to our party. And in his memory, if we can no longer keep him around, I've decided to start a fund for the Whistler Fund. I've had a couple different things we've already added to the pool for it. But if there's any way that you want to go through and grieve Whistler, we've had a chance to talk to make sure we get the Piper burial rights, being able to send him in the flame, but we want to make sure we have him do that last. So if there's any time that you'd like to give to the fund for Whistler, the Save a Whistler Fund, just let me know and I'll be able to take your contribution. We can work this out any way you want to. But I'm hurt, just like everybody else is. Like I said, Brutus, I don't blame Brutus. Brutus is in a bad place right now.
Well, I want to go try to find a diamond large enough for this. As far as I know, no one in town would have a diamond that we could purchase. So I want to go find one somewhere in the old city. And I'm planning, as first thing in the morning, to head out and do that. So that's going to be my contribution, is trying to find the material component we need.
It's done.
Okay, that should be fun. Do you have a map or a location you can get there so we don't go the wrong way? Unfortunately, I'm sure she already told you that we met upon some butterflies, and I'd like to not repeat that same thing.
Yeah, I heard about the butterflies. I have the kind of map sketch that we were working on. I'm planning, so long as Storm is willing to come with me, because Storm is really good at navigating through the area, to have him assist me. Before we start planning what we need to bring for this, did you guys learn anything else while I was at my meeting?
What do you mean, learn anything else?
All bugs suck.
Does Bruce now have a fear of butterflies in addition?
All bugs now.
The
Yeah.
spiders.
Yeah, no, it's totally growing. Everything we've encountered that's been a fucking nightmare so far has been some form of insectoid. So yeah, no, fuck all of them.
Well, on your way back, did you see anything or did you run into anything that we should talk about before I head out, that I need to be aware of so that Storm and I and whoever goes with us doesn't get murderized or anything else?
Yeah, well, so I'm going to pass all the important information that I forgot right now. That way, if you watch the stream, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want to pass specifically the mission that we went on. We went to the well, and that's how he got his bag / a bunch of different other things. We were able to do a proper burial, and if you knew the person that we ended up burying, you can give their respects to them at the farm. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was saying we were just also looking for other things for quests. So even if you go through and you find the materials that we're looking for, I think we still need a little bit of funds in order for her to actually do the whole thing.
Okay. Does Sandy talk about the letters you found?
Letters?
Yeah, there's 2 letters in that safe.
I know, but I don't know. Well, I can't remember if I told the group. I believe I told the group that I found them.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I let you know.
All right. Would it be all right if I read them?
I haven't read the other one from Full Moon, I believe. Or actually, I don't know if I read the other one either.
Yeah, you saw who they were from. They were open, but you didn't really read them. I will tell you that one is a thank you from Full Moon to Court, thanking him for his service, and in addition, like a list of supplies they're looking for. And then the other one is a really short message from Court, basically saying, cool, you have to send like this copious amount of money before you get any more assistance.
Scott, do you have a copy of those? Did you put it in the journal for us?
I will write them out and I'll put them.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting.
Well, if you need some time to grieve, Keely, she's an expert at it. We can go see her and she can help you out. She's helped me so much since I've gotten back. I don't know what I would do without her.
Speaking of Kaylee, while I'm going for the diamond, we're probably going to hopefully find some items that she might be interested in, hopefully, including Arcanite. So if you want to come with us to try to find some of that stuff for her, it would be advisable.
Well, as long as she doesn't need my help here, because it's super busy here. All the stuff we're going on with all the different windows and everything that's going on.
Yep.
But I'll double check with her before I leave.
And you're being so helpful.
Yep.
I would say well, I actually don't know. Would oh man, I blanked on both of their names. But the centaur and the fairy be in the bar at this point, or would they be off somewhere else? Tucker?
Asking Tucker. His two characters.
You're muted.
Sorry, I missed the question.
Would either of your two potential characters, Morris or Talbra, be in the bar at this point, or would they be off somewhere else?
No, neither of them would be.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you guys can drink. You can go talk to people.
All right.
What do you want to do?
Zashi will pat Brutus on the shoulder and say, "We're gonna find the diamond in the morning." All right.
Yeah, huh? I'm inconsolable, quite literally.
Yep. Zashi's not going to try because she doesn't know how to comfort people.
Okay.
Fair.
But she is going to go talk to Monk. She's cleaned up at this point, but she is going to go talk to Monk.
Okay. What do you want to say to Monk?
She wants to talk about the request he had regarding court.
I actually am going to need to be reminded. What was his request regarding court?
He wanted to know who court was sending stuff to.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Zashi just found out, so she...
Okay.
And Monk had said he was going to pay well for the information.
Oh,
Like
what?
with a
Oh, Zashi. I'm so sorry to hear about your friend.
Thank you.
You're not looking for company. I never really think that's a great idea in these times
no.
of stress.
No, I am not. I'm actually... That is not something I want during this time. That sounds like a horrible way to grieve.
I've seen worse, but it's not great.
I was actually hoping to talk to you privately.
Of course.
You had previously requested...
Okay.
What's...
Real quick, Shayna, can you give me a perception check with disadvantage?
Thanks, Terry. So 13.
Okay.
Does Daco see whatever just happened because I'm sitting there too?
Give me a perception check with disadvantage because it's not.
I'm sober.
Yeah, I know, but that's not how. Yeah, you see what just happened.
Well, what just happened?
Sandy just picked Brutus's pocket.
I actually literally don't have pockets, so you're just groping me.
Yeah.
Did
I
you
thought you
grab
were
the-
in Kaylee, you cheating scum.
I think you just pulled a Becca. What did you really grab down
What
there?
did you really grab? I am a Minotaur.
I actually don't know what Brutus has on him at any given point. I'm sure he has a
Brutus has no
belt. You
valuables.
pulled probably one of his many daggers or weapons out of
Do
his.
I don't even have daggers. Oh shit, I don't even have daggers. Let me look at what I have in my bag.
Okay, we'll figure that out while I do the monk thing. Of course. He takes you up to one of the available rooms. Now, what can I do for you?
You had requested information regarding Court and what he was up to. I have managed to find some information regarding that.
Interesting. And what would you like in return?
Well, you probably don't have a 500 GP diamond. that's
No,
what
I do not. I would not be still in this profession if I had a 500 GP gold diamond on me.
That's what I figured. Probably just a little bit of gold to, once I find the diamond, to help bring Whistler back. And
Oh, you are so mundane sometimes. And
oh
he takes
no,
it out.
oh no, possibly a favor in the future.
Oh, see, a favor is... One does not ask for a favor from me lightly. I'm going to need some assurances on said favor. Nothing that will put me in mortal danger.
Mm-hmm.
And it must be a favor performed within the next, we'll say, 2 moons. Or two settings of Eildan.
Very well.
So technically that's 6 months from now.
Yeah, sometime in the next 6 months. I think that is acceptable. So Court has been sending and getting paid by someone by the name of Full Moon, who I think it's common knowledge, Scott, that yeah. He is working with Full Moon and his werewolves regarding sending magical items towards that front.
Oh, very interesting. Savra will be quite interested in such knowledge, I think. I think Court gets to spend some time in the sheriff's station for the time being.
That sounds horrific. All right. Is there anything that you need from me before I head out?
No. Although, you have an unusual scent on you. Something... Something old. Some deep serpent you've been meeting with.
Oh, yes. Side note, regarding the favor, it won't involve your fiancé.
Thank you. She is most possessive sometimes.
I noticed. Thank you very much. I am going to try to console Brutus. I am not good at it, though. Hopefully he doesn't punch me in the face sometime tonight.
You probably won't, but...
Well, I would rather it be you than somebody else in my employ, or I will have to take drastic measures.
Well, agreed. I believe Brutus isn't going to be seeing anyone in your employ tonight.
No.
Keep him out of trouble.
I will do my best to
I
do
do
so.
not appreciate violence in my bar. It tends to cause issues.
If violence is going to go down, I'm going to make sure that it's in the amphitheater.
Ah, good idea.
Very well.
All right. Thank you, Monk. I will see you later.
Have a good day.
You too. And I will go find Brutus.
By the way, I might know where a diamond is.
Oh.
If you clear the favor.
If I clear the favor? Okay, I am
We will count this as the favor you asked for.
So long as it is not the diamond in my sector.
I'm not aware of such a diamond in your sector.
All right.
Tell
Tell
me,
me.
there's a diamond in your sector?
I'm not entirely sure if it is a diamond or not. It's a
There's
lot of
rumors about.
Yep. Anyhow, I would be willing to clear the favor if you know of a diamond large enough to bring Whistler back. I'm bad
I've
at
heard
jokes, sorry.
rumors. In the old craftsman district,
Mhm.
just past the northern wall,
Mhm.
are a dwarf and a gnoll that just kind of appeared out of nowhere.
A dwarf and a knoll.
They've been causing some problems, but talking of an ancient prison buried deep in there. The old traps were reliant upon such diamonds to function.
Well, that is definitely worthwhile information to clear our debt. To be clear, I will pull out my map. Is it this sector?
No,
No. Just
that sector.
okay. I will. Thank you. I believe I will be heading out there in the morning.
Very well.
And I will say my goodbyes and we'll track down Brutus.
Brutus is still drunk on the bench. Did we figure out what Sandy tried to pull off of you yet, Brutus?
If he was trying to pick a pocket, the things that are in my pockets
You'd
are.
have to have some type of bag or something on.
I'm assuming, yeah, because I have 5 javelins, a bone naga fang, 2 Molotov cocktails, and that's it in that bag.
Okay,
Like,
so you wouldn't pull javelins. Probably the only
Yeah.
things you could pull would be the naga fang or the
want a
bottle.
cocktail? Yeah, you want a Molotov cocktail?
So you get
With
to
my
choose,
selection?
Sandy. Do you want a bottle of dubious liquor with a rag stuffed in it, or a kind of interesting looking fang?
Probably the alcohol, just because I'm reaching in the bag trying to grab something.
Okay.
And I'm not really going to be looking for a tooth and be like, oh, I think that's a bottle.
Yeah.
And pull that out. Especially if something gets explosive.
Okay, so you grab the Molotov cocktail. Brutus, you're not aware of this. Daco, you're very aware of this.
Daco's basically going to upend the table, shout the word thief, and he is going to, his tattoos start glowing, stomps the floor, and an earth pillar just comes up like in an uppercut, aiming for Sandy's
Oh,
jaw. Yep.
no. Okay, I need everybody to roll initiative because this is
Oh, okay.
Fight!
yeah.
Fight.
Well, unfortunately, so I would actually say I need to wait for Becca because some things are actually happening concurrently. So
Yeah, fair.
so Zashi, right after you agreed not to have violence in the bar and you were gonna help Brutus out and you got the information for the diamond, you start hearing chanting from the bar, fight, 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 fight.
Okay.
So I need Daco, everyone in the bar to roll initiative.
And Bruce has got 13, Sandy has 8, and Daco has 3.
So much for my explosive response.
Hey, the response worked. You're just then like waiting to see what everybody does first.
Give me a quick hot second. This
All
is
right,
actually
so-
would be way more complicated than I'm gonna make it, but
All right, so it looks like Storm's going to go first. Zashi and Brutus have the same initiative, but Zashi has a higher dex.
You're upstairs anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to have to run down there.
Yeah.
right, that's not my concern.
Do you want us to roll 2d6s
2d6s.
to see who else is in the bar area? Right
Yeah,
now?
actually, I do.
1, oh fuck, and 3.
We rolled a 3.
1.
Okay.
This is awful.
So what do those numbers mean for the rest of the class?
That means that Hemlock, Belladonna, and Nightshade are all there.
No, don't.
Oh,
We have
boy.
important guests watching them fight.
Oh, they're probably not going to watch.
You want to fight with us?
No, I did click on the wrong one.
Okay, there's Belladonna. There's her brother. And here's Hemlock. And I still need to roll monk. Sorry, I have this. Too many books.
No such thing. Oh, you're so lazy. Oh, I need that hand to type, you know.
Figure it out later. It's not a big deal.
Little Rorschach, so cute.
He's so big now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Storm is first. Storm fight is breaking out.
Storm is going to look around at what's going on, and he's going to just calmly just start walking away. And he's going to be like testing things. You know, he's going to take little bits of trash and starts putting it in the bag, see what happens, and just keep walking away.
Okay. So
Are we relaying that to Shanna since she can't see him?
okay, so Storm is slowly walking away, just like nope, 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 nope.
Hey, that's the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
See who's next. Who had a 15? Anybody?
One of the siblings did.
Belladonna did.
Mm-hmm.
Belladonna is just gonna sit on the bar, grab a bottle of alcohol, and kind of wink at one of the customers, and then direct, kind of tip her head that way. We'll get that at the end of the turn.
Okay.
Okay. And then 14.
Zashi and Brutus both have 14s, but Zashi has a higher dex.
Sasha, you have a higher dex, so it's your turn. It's gonna take your entire movement to get to them.
Yep, I will run all the way down, and then as a free action, I will yell out, if you're gonna fight, get your asses to the amphitheater. Do not do it in this bar.
Why would I trash my own place?
Brutus, it's your turn. Remember, you are very drunk.
I am extremely drunk. Does Daco say that? Like, no, not my amphitheater, or something like that?
This is all happening concurrently.
I yelled beep and started throwing the table when we rolled initiative, so I'm pretty sure I'm not doing
So I just blindly grab for whoever he attacked, because that person's a thief. I don't know what they're stealing or who from, but Daco doesn't like him. So I'm going to, actually, I guess, try and grapple.
Grapple Sandy. Okay, so athletics check. With disadvantage, you're still drunk.
Yeah.
You won't be drunk for long.
Sandy, I need you to make an acrobatics or athletics check, whatever's higher.
I'm trying to look for which one it is.
Yes.
So despite your drunken attempts, Sandy kind of like trips into your arms. You're able to get him into kind of a bear hug.
All right. Yeah, I figure I've got him in a Nelson lock. Is this the guy? Is
Okay.
this the thief?
And that would bring us to does anyone have higher than a 9 that's left? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I need everybody to make charisma saving throws
Oh boy.
in the entire bar. As a weird voice comes whispering over everybody's ears. Everybody just needs to calm. Oh, sorry, wisdom saving throws, not charisma saving throws.
Oh,
Emotion.
Mm,
Sorry.
That's okay.
mm.
I'll still use your roll, Becca. I'll just.
I'm very drunk and very susceptible right now. All right.
I am rolling for poop on everything today.
It doesn't matter. The DC was 21 on this.
Jeez, I got a natural 20. And
So I
Not
would have,
angry, but
with my original roll, I would have made it then
Okay.
with
So-
the +2.
Okay. Well, it was calm emotions, so all of you just kind of.
Calmly beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah, I'm calm, but I wouldn't because I'm
Can't make any
drunk.
aggressive movements.
Yeah. So I'm just holding on to him still.
Okay.
Hug
Everybody
him.
needs to calm down and take this outside before he gets involved.
All right, and I'll start.
This is Hemlock talking, by the way.
I figured. With the 21, yeah, I figured.
She's wonderful.
However, so everybody else kind of goes through the thing. The one that is charmed is actually immune to this because of a weird interaction. And we'll go ahead and make an attack against, we'll say Zashi because it's the only one that's around.
Who's attacking me?
Just a random bar patron.
Oh, okay.
With a nat 20.
Still,
You
Yeah,
take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. It's just this drunken fist comes and just smashes you right across the chin.
yeah, Zashi says, I knew I was going to get hit in the face today.
Okay, so you guys move outside the bar.
Yeah, I'm dragging him out.
Okay.
I'd like to fight against that drag because I don't want to go outside and get attacked by multiple people.
I was gonna say, I don't think I recognize who Sandy is at this point still.
What?
I just know that you're trying to steal, and that's it. So, yep.
Not trying, stole. There's a difference. I'm good
Oh
at
yeah,
this.
technically that breaks calm emotions for everybody as somebody takes damage. So
All right.
at this point, Hemlock just rubs her eyes. Monk is down there. He was outside the calm emotions, and then now it's back. So we're back up to the top of the round again, which is now.
I haven't gone yet.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
well,
Daco-
Daco, you were under the calm emotions. So you were under calm emotions before this happened. Sorry, I kind of skipped ahead.
So mad about his bad rules. Poor Daco.
Is there anything you want to do when you were calm emotioned?
Take my bottle back.
Calmly point at him and say, I will never forget this because my flaw is holding fierce grudges and I'm not prone to forgiveness. I can't even send
That works.
Yeah,
That'd be
and then
cool.
Zashi gets punched in the chin, and the calm emotions drops.
Ah,
So you're no longer calmly holding a grudge.
So now back to the top, who is now Nightshade, who will start clapping. Not at one of the other ones, so now there's 2 bar patrons that are charmed.
oh, okay.
And then that brings us to who had the 16?
it's me.
Storm, who just
Storm.
booked it.
You're outside at this point.
All right. It's a fight outside now, too?
No, it hasn't spilled out into the street yet.
Okay. I'm just going to keep calmly walking along.
Yeah.
Just another day in the murder of crows.
Belladonna disappears for her turn.
Okay.
And so who had the, and then that brings us to Zashi, right?
Yep. I
Sandy,
am
what was your initiative? Sorry.
Who?
Sandy.
Sandy, Terry.
8.
Okay.
all right. So I am going to go ahead and use lay on hands on Brutus for 5 points. Where is it?
Cure the poison condition.
Yep.
Brutus, you're suddenly not drunk. You suddenly have an instant hangover.
Wow. Ah.
And I'm going to say, let's take this outside, and I'm going to help Brutus take Sandy outside.
Grab his feet.
Yeah. I don't know if you want me to do any sort of grapple check for his feet.
Well, you
but I
used your action to lay on hands, so we'll say narratively, yes, you're helping, but you're not actually doing anything.
Not yet.
Okay, Brutus, it's your turn. You can move half your speed to move Sandy outside. You are now aware that you have Sandy in your arms.
Okay. Even with how big I am? With my carry thing? Oh, yeah, right. I forgot. Sorry. Doesn't count for that. Okay.
Zashi will also say, give him the biggest hug possible. Squeeze him,
Okay.
Brutus.
Continuing to hug him and move then. Because I know who it is. I may not remember exactly what's going on, but I just go roll with it. It's good. I've got a hangover. I'm not going to think through it. Yeah, I'll just use my action to move towards the door, get out. Is that enough to get completely outside?
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly the, largest bar in the world, so you make your way outside.
All right, we're outside now.
Yay.
Maybe I'll yell back into the bar, sorry about that!
Okay.
I'm assuming that was like my whole turn.
Yeah, and that should bring us to Hemlock, who will just calmly walk over to the upturned table and, with one arm, just flip it back over.
Now I've got a grudge against Hemlock too.
Flip.
Yes, please have a grudge against Hemlock. Let's see how that goes.
That'll work out really well for all of us.
Considering Zashi really likes Hemlock. Just no.
Okay, and so, Daco, your initiative was an 8 as well?
No, I had a 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he didn't do.
I rolled a critical 1 with a modifier of 2.
You're having a rough day.
The guy who started the fight.
Okay, so that brings us to Sandy. You are currently dragged outside in the big hug of Brutus.
It's hugging time. This is important.
Brutus, I'm not sure why you decided to hug me. I was just trying to teach you a lesson for getting drunk in public, and then I get attacked. So I'm not exactly sure what I did wrong.
You tried to steal, which I don't care if you're trying to teach a lesson, is wrong, and I'm hungover, so I'm not gonna listen to you logic.
But is it technically stealing if everything is still within arm reach of you?
Is he out of turn now? Is that
No.
more than enough time? No, he's got more. Of course he does. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm just not listening to you. I'm just going la 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 la.
Okay. I'm not really doing anything. I don't need to break the grapple because I don't think I did anything wrong. I'm okay with that.
Okay, now we're out of initiative. However, you are, so all you leave the bar, you are hearing weird sounds coming from the bar. At some point, 2 bodies literally get thrown out of the bar and onto the street.
Is Daco one of them?
No,
The 2 pages.
the 2
Oh,
patrons.
so do I get to get out of the bar now and go punch Sandy?
Yeah, you can go out of the bar. You want to continue the PvP?
Yes, I wanted to punch Sandy and teach him a lesson.
Okay,
Friends and foes.
go ahead and roll your attack.
Don't worry, I'm rolling for Coop today.
Remember, I'm running. It's called restrained.
You're not restrained, you're just grappled. So, does 15 hit your armor class? Okay. So you take 3 points of bludgeoning damage. As Brutus is holding him while Daco is punching him. Zashi, this kind of hurts your sense of honorable combat, honestly.
Who says Zashi has honorable combat?
Really? It's gonna be me and you don't have honorable combat. Awesome.
Beating each
It's part of your oath. Well, kind of. It's
No, not the Oath of Conquest.
Like, no, fuck, it's not.
Like, I mean, the other oaths, absolutely, but
Yeah, oath of conquest. You should be grabbing the other side of Sandy.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. So yeah. So Storm, you're like Sandy is. To everybody around the street, it literally looks like this giant minotaur is holding Sandy in like a half Nelson while Daco is pummeling it.
It was one uppercut to the jaw.
One punch.
all right, you guys good? Did you get that out of your system? Can we talk about what happened? Because, I mean, I come down and you guys are fighting right after I had promised Monk we were not going to start combat in his bar.
I didn't think we stealed from people within our own organization either.
What are you...
Jocko's not calm anymore. He's angry. Do we have bylaws for that?
How is it stealing if it hasn't left their reach? It's still on their
It's not in
person.
their possession anymore. You want another one to learn your lesson?
It has been in their possession. I don't know if you noticed. I'm in their possession. They've had it the whole time.
Yeah,
I'm a punch him
technically
again.
the bottle is still like in sand.
Right?
Yeah.
Jocko's about to punch him again.
Oh... Hey, if you guys are gonna like fight each other, can you like at least put Sandy down so he has a chance to respond and take
He's
your bottle back?
He's responding the way he likes to, with words.
Did he give Brutus a chance to respond? To
Did
have
not.
stuff stolen?
That's
I
right,
did.
Jocko. Tell him.
Because if I didn't, it wouldn't have been stolen. Well, I don't know if you know this. We had a roll for it. I'm pretty sure that happened.
Roll for what? What are you talking about?
Okay, Deadpool, we don't know that.
Yeah, we don't know that.
Around this time, you do hear one of the Knoll patrols start walking up, kind of doing the like. They have like large sticks in their hand, and they're like, "Hey,
Hi.
what's going on over here?"
Mind your business. It's internal.
I'm being attacked. That's what's going on right here. I'm being attacked.
He tried to steal from me. Look, it's in his
Put-
hand. You can see it.
Put him
I
down.
didn't try. I did.
Put him
There you go.
down.
Admission of theft. You gonna arrest him, or am I gonna keep beating him?
At this point, we're gonna arrest all of you.
Yeah?
Please
Yeah.
do. We all need a lesson.
No, we do not need a lesson. Put Sandy down. We're going to go back to our headquarters, and we are going to settle this there.
Unless you can you try and persuade me or something? Because otherwise, I'm with Daco. Like I'm life indebted to
I'm
him.
gonna
and
get
we'll do
coffee while you guys are having this discussion.
So Nashi is trying...
that they will follow through actually with punishing Sandy. Otherwise, Brutus is gonna trust Daco to do it.
Zashi is trying to convince Daco and Brutus to take this off the street back to our headquarters where we can actually handle it ourselves and not involve the Knolls. That is what she's trying to do. She knows that Sandy, Daco, and Brutus, something happened. She still doesn't know exactly what, but she'd like to handle it.
It's in his hand. He admitted it. He's like, "Oh yeah, no, I didn't steal this. I just took it without permission."
Yeah.
And because I'm not caught trying to talk my way out of it, because that's what I do.
Hey, guys, let's take this back to our headquarters. We don't need to involve the sheriff. We can handle this ourselves.
You've
I'm not
already
sure if I feel
involved
safe,
the
though.
sheriff's office.
I don't know if I feel safe back there. There's 2 against 1 already. It's not a fair fight for me. If we have someone with an authority, I think it'd be
Care
more
about
comfortable for me.
fairness.
So,
Fine. All of you are under arrest.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I'm not under arrest. I haven't broken any crimes.
Zashi is holding her head like this.
Probably.
They actually kind of look at each other and they're like, there's like a weird.
You're worse.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's a
Disturbing the
crime.
peace.
Or,
Disturbing the peace.
oh yeah, you're under arrest for disturbing the peace.
Well, I haven't disturbed the peace. I was trying to calm this down.
You were
Yeah.
here.
Yes, I was here, but I was not disturbing the peace.
Are you resisting arrest?
I am not
I'm
resisting
resisting
arrest.
the-
I am
because
saying
this
that
is
it would
a
be a
robbery.
wrongful arrest.
Okay, I need Zashi. Give me a persuasion check. Daco and Sandy also give me persuasion checks.
What are we trying to persuade though before I roll?
So Sandy, you actually have advantage because the gnolls are inclined to arrest you guys. So you're trying to persuade them to help you get out of this. Zashi, you're trying to persuade them to leave you alone. Daco, I have no idea what you're trying to
I
persuade
was
them.
persuading them that I was enforcing the peace, not disturbing the peace.
Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what the gnolls believe at this point.
It's rigged.
Okay, Zashi, and you had a 19. So at
I-
this point, they're like, so are you bringing him in then?
Yes, we will bring him in.
Okay. Well, let Savra deal with this.
Whoever.
Okay, Brutus, Daco.
They turn around and go back to the...
Yeah, let's go. Let's follow him.
Okay.
Daco's like still shaking a fist angrily, like at Sandy. Just like,
Get my bottle back.
Okay, so you come into an adobe building. There's various cages everywhere around. The two gnolls walk in. There's already 3 other gnolls in here, and then Savra is like leaning against the wall. Zashi, you've been here for a week. This
Yes.
is the 3rd time I've had to intercede. Am I going to have to put you in the stocks?
I don't believe so, considering we are turning someone in that. Daco, Brutus, can you explain the situation? I was trying to calm it down, and
He was trying to commit a crime. He was trying to steal, and he succeeded. And depending on how he feels, he'll say he succeeded or he didn't steal because it's still within arm's reach. And it's bullshit, all of it. Oh, wait,
What
I'm
was he
joking.
stealing?
I don't remember. Did someone take it from him, or is it still in his hand?
It's
Yeah,
still
the
in his
Molotov
hand.
cocktail. This, and I just shake him a bit. Balancing his arm, it's like this.
Savra turns to you, Brutus. Do you have any more of these? Can you prove it's yours?
Yeah, I have an identical one in my bag.
So
also, I witnessed the
you
alleged.
you were crafting incendiary devices in a desert town.
No. I bought it, or really it was a gift from someone. I can't remember who right now, actually, but it was a gift because we're trying to clear out our little section, and there were lots of bad
Regardless,
things.
you have a device designed to set buildings on fire in your pocket.
It's
Or
not just
your
buildings.
pouch.
Sometimes it's people and monsters that you ask us to go out and kill.
That one. Brutus is going to let Daco do the talking now. Brutus remembered, oh yeah, I'm not drunk, I'm not good at this.
Yes, direct, belligerent, exceedingly stubborn is my personal traits. I've got this.
You got this for me.
So you are what, her accomplice?
I'm telling you that these are used for killing the monsters and deviants that you guys have paid us to go out and kill before, because that's what we do.
I've never paid you to do shit.
Well, maybe you should start. Maybe we'd have a lot more peace around here.
So you're applying for a job. That's what this was?
No, you're recruiting me for a job, and you're going to let my friend keep her weapon, and you're going to put this filth in a cell where he belongs to think about what he did wrong today. And then, the next time a job comes up, you're going to remember my name.
Give me a persuasion check. Weirdly with advantage, because you're endearing yourself to Savra.
Oh my fucking god. Chester, you're my best
She
friend.
points
One
to the
to three,
she
rolled
points to the two. She points to Brutus and then to Estelle, like to Sandy in your arm. She points to you to put Sandy in one of the cells.
I'm gonna put him in, and as I put him down, take the Molotov cocktail back.
you should probably search him before you're putting him in there. Savra, I'm sorry, he's probably got some weird stuff in his pockets.
Steve's
Don't
usually-
worry,
Like the
we will
working out of
handle
that
it.
kind of stuff.
We are very good at investigating our prisoners.
Thanks,
As for
Josh. Really
you-
good throw.
She's pointing at Daco.
What, bro?
She reaches into a desk and with a clawed hand grabs a weird like brass star and just chucks it at you. You've been deputized.
Yes! Best possible outcome for this.
Brings that shit like bold and proud right on the front.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Weirdest interview ever.
And I mean, he got the job, so
Yeah. Roger that.
Now, do you want to be here for the interrogation? She's directing this to Daco.
I'm happy to read the report on it later.
He's gonna be no report.
At around this time, you actually hear. Well, it wouldn't happen yet, so never mind. Yeah. So, is there anything else?
Nope. Enjoy your day. I hope he provides you vast forms of entertainment in his lesson learning. Everyone else, back to Daco's place where the party's always happening.
all right. I'll open the door for Daco really politely. Like, sir.
I swagger out.
You know, Savra, you've just inflated his ego so much.
I don't care about that. He seems very good at subduing prisoners, and with no compunction to use an excessive force.
Excuse me, I'd like to say he didn't subdue me at all. I came willingly.
Dragging his feet, I believe it said.
Yeah, I think you said dragging your feet quote the whole time. Yeah, drags his feet the whole time. So you probably have dirt and dust marks
Which
all over
means
his.
I will make
Just
sure the
resting.
bruises are. Which I thank you for. I'll make sure the bruises are small. She kind of turned.
And below the collar.
All right. I head out with Brutus and Daco and ask, was there more?
Sword.
As we head out, was there more to that than what the hell is going on between you and Sandy, Brutus? As we walk away.
That little pickpocket stole from my mate here. Being Fred mate. Clarification.
Obviously. I
We
just
gotta
find
have bylaws or something in this organization. We don't steal from each other or I'm out.
I do want to. Somebody give me a history check. I don't really care who.
okay.
It's a
You know
really
what?
easy one.
Why not?
Okay, Sandy. Well, Sandy, you're aware of this.
But Sandy's not here for this conversation.
Technically, you guys are in the Empire's law system, so the and Sasha, you'd be aware of it too. And then Brutus, maybe.
The same role.
Well, then I've got a 14.
Yeah, and Daco, you're aware of it. The reason why Brutus is a little harder for you because you're not from the area.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So they were going to interrogate Sandy until he confesses to stealing, which he could confess right away, and they wouldn't interrogate him. And then the crime for stealing is hanging.
Yes!
I mean, the punishment for.
Uh-oh.
So you have basically sentenced Sandy to die.
Sorry, Jerry.
No, wait, what? I didn't know this. In my defense, I was drunk.
Well, you weren't drunk after we left the
You
bar.
were drunk. Yeah.
I wasn't.
Nope.
After we left the bar, that is true. I was sober at that point.
Yep.
But
You
nobody
dragged me outside.
to go
You were
against
sober and
the man
dragged me outside.
who saved my life.
So,
To my
question.
death.
Do we have bylaws about theft within the murder of crows?
I don't know. I don't know what you guys' bylaws are.
I highly
Never
doubt
came
it.
up.
Well,
Come on.
considering that it was based off of the mercenary group, pretty sure most mercenary groups is somewhere in there about things against each other members, because you have to be able to trust each other somewhat when you go out into battle together.
Come up, we also have a definition of stealing.
I swear to fucking God, if it's the still in arm's reach thing, I won't
I'm just saying, I'm not going to go tricking bylaws.
Sandy, I will say, So, however, around this time, you do see another pack of gnolls. They're surrounding Court's general store. At which point, Court's general store explodes.
Oh shit.
Scotty, are you getting my messages?
I don't think so.
You're logged in as a GM, right?
Yeah, I am. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, no, I sorry. Multiple things are going on, and sometimes I'm missing.
Okay. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Just no, okay.
Oh,
Don't worry about it.
Oh, also, there's smoke coming from your guys' temple.
Uh-oh. Let's go there.
All right, before we run off to the temple, what time of day is it? Because Bliss might have been
It's
at
about
court
2 in the
still.
afternoon.
Shit.
Oh, we were also day drunk. Great.
You
So does Bliss die?
Yes.
Okay.
So no, man, I'm gonna send Terry a message.
Thanks for sharing with the class. You want to read it aloud for everybody?
But Sandy, when the explosion happens, all the gnolls leave, and they have not searched you yet.
Of course not. Should have just picked a lock and walk away with no consequences.
You gotta take the time. I'll pick the lock. I won't go anywhere, but I'll pick the lock. Reach out my legs to look around.
Okay, just give me a thieves' tool check.
You want this proficiency and dex, right?
Yeah. But yeah, there seems to be smoke coming from the temple.
Yeah, well, I'll head to the temple as fast as I can.
The temple is. I will say it's like white smoke, and it seems relatively controlled. But like, as soon as you guys get there, in the very center of the temple is a very large bonfire.
Okay.
Not in the temple, in the courtyard.
Oh, sorry, in
The place where we fought the
Okay.
air elemental the first time.
Okay.
All right, so it's Tobra and the fairy that did this?
Tobra is in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
Morris is maybe peeking out the door. There might be some of the other followers watching Tobra, but she's by herself. And anyone who comes near her, she kind of glares at.
Okay. I'll walk up. In the bonfire, do we see anything?
Just a fire. She is like doing ceremonial stuff. She keeps throwing like, cloves and herbs and strange things into the fire, but it's just a fire.
Mm-hmm.
So it smells strange, but like, because you said cloves and a bunch of things. Okay, so
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's obvious this is some sort of ceremony then.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, and she's got corpse paint on her face right now.
Okay. Zashi will actually stand back then and not interfere with the ceremony.
Okay. Terry, can you give me an investigation check? And yeah, that's fine. Oh, okay. There's not a lot going around, like for you, Terry.
Okay, I'm pretty much just going to go to different cells, look for a better pillow, and come back to my cell.
Okay.
Just wait.
There are other people in the cells. Most of them look pretty badly beaten, but there's a fairly fluffy pillow in one of them that like hasn't been used or soiled or anything.
That wasn't a prerequisite, but definitely now it is.
Yeah.
So I'll take it. I'll go back and wait my time.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't do anything wrong.
Oh yeah, Zashi will totally engage Dako with this while we allow Tobra to do her, not allow, but not interfere with Tobra's ceremony. As well, in the original mercenary stuff, intergroup violence and theft was met with pretty brutal force. Normally, we would have handled it in-house, but I mean, we were in a situation where we've kind of changed into an adventuring group with most of the same bylaws, but we have an actual police force, sheriff force, which now you're part of.
Do we actually have the definition of stealing in there in the bylaws? Because I want to make sure that's there.
I'm gonna write it in my fucking self.
I know. This is out of character because you guys are looking at a book.
Shayna Diamond, I'm gonna write the fucking bylaw for theft. You're giving me that just the tip bullshit argument like it doesn't count. No, it fucking counts. Get out of here. I swear to God, I'm gonna include it in the logo. Now, if anyone wants to, we're gonna have the bylaw.
Organize a clandestine jailbreak to make sure we actually do handle his punishment in-house, or are we okay letting the local law punish one of ours?
Well, now you are the local law too, dude.
Just outside the game, weren't those Molotov cocktails Zashi's anyway?
She gave 2 of them to Brutus.
Yeah.
Brutus, because of the way he had mentioned it, kind of protected Zashi.
That was on purpose. Yeah, I didn't want to say that. Oh yeah, she's the one who makes them. I was like, oh, someone gave me these. It was weird.
Yep.
No.
Well, so Daco, I mean, you and Brutus were the ones that Sandy had violated.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with what you and Brutus decide. Do you want Savra to handle this, or do you want to handle it in-house?
I think it really boils down to the message we want to send to our organization, because either way, he's going to get what's coming to him. The question is, are we content letting an outsider be the one that hands out the punishment for those crimes, or do we want to be handling this in-house?
I wanted to handle it in-house. It kind of went out of my hands when...
Yeah.
Then maybe conveniently, whilst I am detained elsewhere, a clandestine jailbreak should be arranged. And,
Here's
Are you having this conversation still outside, or did you go into the temple?
We are we are just inside the temple, but far enough back to try to give Tobra as much space as possible.
Morris is gonna trap in. So, guys. So wait, what? Sandy's arrested?
Yeah. Sandy tried
By the
stealing.
fucking Knowles?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna fucking kill him.
Yeah.
He's Whistler's best friend, and you got him fucking arrested.
Well, he did steal from one of ours. And I'm going to point at Brutus.
Fuck that! And then he's gonna look to Sashi. Look, didn't he? What? Sorry. I gotta calm down. The bad things will happen.
voice.
Dude, Whistler risked just to make sure that you didn't get arrested? I believe that I heard this story just a couple of days ago when you came in all mummified. And you fucking gave Sandy to them.
No, I didn't give Sandy to him. Taco.
No, you're the leader. You gave him to him. You let him do it.
That's reinforced by the fact that Daco's discussing if we made the right choice or not with you.
Yeah. Do you have a good way to get him out? Because we were in a position where either the entire group was going to end up getting arrested and murdered by the Knowles, or we have a chance to get Sandy out and handle this a different way.
We gotta get him out somehow.
All right, well, let's do it quickly because currently they're a little bit distracted with what's going on with the general store.
So Daco is going to volunteer to go run distraction at the
Can
general
somebody
store.
please roll me a D100? You really shouldn't let Shayna roll these
I
things.
didn't roll. That was for something else. That was for my own. I'm looking up
I got
something.
a 14 today.
Sandy was the highest.
Yeah, I'm looking up something else. That was just a weird
Anywho,
I did a
coincidence.
14 and I got higher.
as you guys
It was
kind of look over your shoulder, you notice that the small explosion fire is very much spreading.
Ah, fuck.
Daco's going to say, listen, I'm going to go help with that because, let's face it, Earth puts out fire. While I'm doing that, y'all figure out what you're going to do about Sandy. I'll have deniability and visibility.
I'm gonna go and help Daco.
Later, he pays for the crime one way or another. I don't care whether it's us or them. That's your call as the leader here. But I'm gonna go take care of that. Try and keep him busy elsewhere. Do what you do. And Daka's gonna take off towards the fire to go be a good Samaritan deputy.
Yeah,
And
the
Brutus
town
takes-
is like an inferno at this
Yeah.
point.
I'm gonna start smothering fires with earth and calling out orders to every law enforcement person I see and start giving them orders to help.
Pretty much everybody is running around. I would actually so Sandy, the smoke is beginning to just like fill your is beginning to wander into the sheriff's station. Fortunately, because it's basically adobe and stone, it's not actually setting on fire. It's getting uncomfortably hot in there, though.
All right, Morris, you with me? Let's go get Sandy.
The fire is beginning to spread to the apothecary at this point.
I'm gonna start like trenching in the earth and using earth to like smother flames. Everything that's getting close, like I'll do a trench around the building. Whatever it's taken to try and curtail that fire from spreading.
Okay.
If I have to make a dust cloud, I'll make a freaking dust cloud. I'll do it.
Of course you will.
So most of the people are running around with like chickens with their head cut off. The gnolls seem like half-heartedly fighting the fire, and some of them seem like actually delighted by the fire.
Of course.
Daco yells at those ones.
Morris he'll fly over to where Tabra's sitting by the fire. He'll whisper something into her ear.
Mm-hmm.
She will glare at Zashi, and then he'll fly back to Zashi. Okay, let's go.
All right, let's do this. So Zashi and Morris are going to go get Sandy and bring him back to the temple.
I'm not going to try to leave. I'm going to try to fight them as much as I can, staying like I'm supposed to.
In the okay, smoke
Yeah,
fill. I need everybody that's in town at this point to make a Constitution save.
And as Sandy is refusing to go, Zashi's going to turn to Morris and says, "This was part of it. This was part of it." And she like points at Sandy. It's like he was totally willing to go, and this is why it was such a difficult decision. And now he's refusing to come with us.
Okay, so we're there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sandy, you gotta go.
I can't go. Apparently justice needs to be served, and apparently I'm not wanted there. Everyone agreed to put me here, so why should I leave? I'm safer here. Well,
Sandy, if you're in there, how are you gonna raise money to get my friend back?
that's a good question. You should ask everybody else.
We're Constitution saves, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'll hand over what money I have for the Whistler Fund. I think it's like roughly 150 gold. Plus all the items.
I don't know if it's gonna matter. Look at that shitty save.
Okay, so Storm and Morris, you start hacking up a lung. You're taking you take. We'll go 1d10 on this.
It should be too higher than that. I apparently didn't put my save.
It's still
in,
less
'cause
than
I should
10.
have.
So.
Yeah, it's still less than 10.
So both of you take 8 points of fire damage, I guess, for smoke insulation, and anything, and it's beginning to be hard to talk. If you have to cast any spells with verbal components, you're going to require an Arcana check in order to.
Daco's got his desert scarf up.
Mm-hmm. And since Daco, you're actually actively fighting fire, we'll go ahead and you roll a D100 at this point.
Yay.
It's not spreading, but it's not technically contained either.
Oh, I'm gonna contain it. Like, is it spreading through? Like, is it debris in the air that was spreading it? Like, how?
Yeah,
how
it's like sparks, and it's a very dry climate, so it tends to.
So it's not like going across the ground to spread right now.
No.
Because that my trenches would.
Yeah,
have a
your
split.
trenches are being effective. Like
Okay.
it's definitely preventing it from becoming
Gotcha.
worse. But
What I get for leaving home without a freaking airbender?
Okay, so
So we need a bigger
Sandy,
fire.
there is smoke coming in. Your coworkers are there and risking smoke inhalation to get you out.
Say, save yourselves.
Are
Is
you?
it just
Probably a better
bars?
death for me.
Is it like bars, like a old time jail cell?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm in the cell with Sandy.
yeah. It's basically a cage. So
Yeah, I mean, I just walk in because only have to call.
So I'll hand over all the stuff.
You do
I
notice
can.
the other prisoners have woken up and are like scrambling around, desperate to get, and they're yelling, "If he doesn't want to go, we'll go. We'll."
Well, Sandy had unlocked
Okay.
the doors, right? Because he went
Yeah,
into the other
right.
cells.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah,
nobody
did he-
knows that. No,
Yeah.
You guys don't know that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Sashi is going to try, like, she's going to do it forcefully because she thinks it's still locked and, like, probably.
Okay, give me a
flies back.
strength check.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the door kind of rattles open a little bit. I was really hoping you rolled high and smacked yourself in the face with the door.
Yeah. So the door opens. I open the doors to get the other prisoners out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm not there.
Go,
So the door is now wide open.
go, go, people. We'll handle Sandy.
They're running out.
That's Mr. Stone to you.
Look, I mean, so you're really not gonna go? Like you're just gonna choose here and you're gonna die and choke to death and
Yes, it's probably a better death than me choking to death tomorrow when they hang me.
Sashi, I think he's depressed.
I think he's depressed too.
I think
Why
we have
else?
to take it out of our. I think we have to do this ourselves.
That's what I'm thinking. Why else would he have pickpocketed Brutus? There's no
What's
reason.
really
for it.
starting to piss me off? You know that, Sandy?
He pickpocketed because he could. There
I was
was
trying to
no
teach Brutus
reason.
a lesson.
Ah.
Drunk in public.
All right, hold
And you
on.
can hear Brutus's voice trying
gonna
to
wait.
tell you something
You
different.
pickpocketed? What did you take?
I didn't take anything.
Okay, this is stupid. Let's just get him out of here.
All right, so I'm going to do command on Sandy and tell him to flee.
Wisdom saves Andy.
Nope, he makes it.
Yeah, it makes it.
Oh, just flip the
Compulsion
shit.
comes over your head like. Nope.
I am raging.
Okay.
Raging pixie.
Yeah.
Dude.
So hold on.
So
When I rage, bad shit happens.
yeah, I know.
Oh, what does that mean?
It means okay. You have the table in front of you because I don't.
Yeah, I just rolled it. Oh. Actually, it's going to be something that doesn't even matter. I get a
Okay.
shadow weapon, but that's not a big deal.
Is that because you're a pixie?
No,
Nope.
it's because of his class.
my class.
Okay, sorry.
There's the subclass.
Pure.
And then I'm just going to try to knock Sandy out with my hammer.
I don't want you to suffer.
Wild magic barbarian, yeah, is weird. Go ahead and roll an attack against Sandy.
With your mini hammer.
Okay.
It's just one of those really tiny little rubber tipped hammers.
Yeah, the reflex hammer.
Yeah.
I apparently miss.
You apparently, however, this
You're
is
so
really
bad.
weird. So it's this tiny little hammer that suddenly, like, becomes like a full-size war hammer as the arc crests the top of it, and then goes back to normal. And then goes back to its tiny little size.
You got a cool hammer, bro.
Shit.
Sandy, this little pixie like attacked you with a hammer.
Do you have to roll anything special to try to disarm him?
You just have to do a. You have to grapple him, and then the next turn do a disarm. Only battle masters can do a disarm in one attack, but you can try to go ahead and grapple him. That'd be an athletics check. Just kind of hold him. I'm gonna give you advantage on that, just because. Well, it doesn't
Oh, it doesn't
matter.
matter.
So acrobatics or athletics, whichever higher.
Well,
so-
actually, technically, he would have advantage on athletics checks to grapple.
Yeah, no, I bet he rolled an 18 and 18.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. So I'm raging, so I get advantage, but I'm a pixie, so I always have disadvantage, so it's a straight roll.
Yeah.
You got me.
You have a pixie in your hand.
Squish it.
Squish
But I just like to disarm him and throw the weapon into the other chamber.
Okay, so it would actually. I didn't have you guys roll initiative because I didn't expect this to get to PvP again.
It's an exciting day.
You
guys
motherfucker,
do not
try to save your life!
Apparently your group does not process grief well.
Nope.
Well, I'm noticing a common element in all of these.
If Whistler was
There
here,
is
we
a
just know what
single
happened.
common denominator in all of this. Shockingly.
So, so we'll just go to not Talbot. Morris, go ahead and what do you want to do? You're being grappled by this huge
Okay.
fist.
Yeah, I'm still gonna try to hit him. This time, reckless.
Okay. 14 hit your armor class? It does?
He does.
Okay.
Oh. Oh, right.
So so this looks really weird.
9 damage. That doesn't have my rage on there.
Yeah. 9 points of bludgeoning damage. This looks really weird from anybody else's perspective because so Sandy grabbed the pixie, he's still holding on to the pixie, and a hammer like appears out of his hand and hits himself in the head with a war hammer.
I wish I was good enough at animating to draw that. Shit. Oh, it's so bad in my head.
No, it's bludgeoning. It's
Well, no, because of what you rolled on the wild magic table, right?
oh, yeah, that's right.
So psychic damage.
Yeah, it's psychic damage.
That's a weird fucking hammer.
With psychic damage.
You have a weird hammer. Just putting that out there. Your hammer's weird.
And everybody in this space, please make a Constitution saving throw.
Just the ones in that space you said?
Everyone in the police department, right? The sheriff's office.
Oh, so not us. Okay.
You guys are outside. You guys don't really have to worry about smoke inhalation that much. I mean, you're fighting the fire, but you're not.
I got my best square foot.
Can I see if I can find out where people are?
Yeah, go ahead and give. I'm not gonna have you roll. You see Daco and Brutus running around trying to fight this fire, and then everybody else is in the freaking sheriff's department.
So I'm like, fighting a fire doesn't seem like something I can do. So
Everybody that failed that Constitution saving throw, which the DC was 10, take 9 points of fire damage.
So I'm gonna go follow the other people to the sheriff's office.
Okay. And then Sandy, it's your turn. Unless anyone else wants to intervene in this little debacle.
Do I see what's going on?
Yeah, you come into the sheriff's department and you see the psychic hammer thing.
Yep. And Zashi has her arms crossed across her chest, and she looks pissed and frustrated and all around like she's having a really shitty day.
What's going on? What are you doing?
Sandy's refusing to leave. We're trying to get him out so that we can handle whatever he did in-house.
All of this, by the way, you're like coughing through, so it's more like Sandy's trying like.
Okay, I'm gonna cast sleep on him.
Okay. So here's the weird thing: there is no possible way to avoid Morris. So.
One thing though, I'm immune to being in sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, I was thinking that too because I have less hit points.
Well,
But I
you're
can't
easy to carry. If you're asleep. You're easy to carry if you're asleep anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast it at second level.
Okay, Sandy, I forgot what race are you?
He's a Genasi.
Oh, okay, so
Earth
he's not.
Janasi.
Okay.
Oh, really? Oh, that makes sense. Sandy Stone. Oh, I love
Okay.
that.
Okay, so
love that.
so what level are you doing this at?
Second.
Okay, so 78.
28.
What's your HP, Sandy? Okay, Sandy goes.
The sleepy HP.
Excellent. Zashi will grab
That's
him
12.
by the back of the collar and start dragging him out with.
But does anybody else fall asleep?
I think David should have hit him again. Should have hit him again.
No,
No.
just wait, Morris. You can hit him again once we get back to Toby.
Because Morris is immune to sleep, it doesn't drag the HP down. No one else. Unless does anybody? Sandy? What is your current HP? Because if anybody had less HP than you, there'd be no way to target a space without hitting other people. So, you had 12? Okay. Was there anyone that had less than 12 HP at this point in the sheriff's department?
Nope.
Okay. Was there anyone? Since that was a 28, was there anyone with 16 or less HP in the sheriff's department?
Nope.
Okay.
All right, so Zashi will start dragging Sandy.
It's a
back.
good thing you got the prisoners out. Otherwise, they would have all fell asleep, and it would have been.
Yeah. Just heading back with Morris, and on the way back with Morris and Storm, she'll say, "I have information where we can get what we need to bring Whistler back."
And can I get Daco to give me another D100, and then I'll be right back.
I can.
You're going to be promoted to lead firefighter as well as deputy.
Someone has to put a good positive spin on our organization, right?
Right. Oh, this has been a shit show of a day. I fucking love it. I did not think this is what would happen. I'm good with it though. This is fun.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
Yeah, no, I'm clearly not.
This can't be. You missed it earlier. I typed this campaign detour was brought to you by Sandy and Daco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a brief little hiatus from the really, like, the complicated political and religious intertwining and, like, you know, all of that really hard story that Scott worked on. And
Scott's like, I spent all week prepping for this amazing scene.
But he still has it though to work with though.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
this point, he still has it.
Daco,
no,
like,
it's just hilarious.
You are doing a lot of work, Daco, and it seems like you have the most incompetent firefighters with you possible.
And I'm sure I am yelling at every single frickin' one of them.
You motherfucker, get your ass in line.
Okay, so yeah, like it's beginning to hit some of the civilian quarters. Most of them have already been like most people have already ran away, but it's starting to spread that way. Fortunately, it's it still hasn't hit the apothecary yet, so you're not.
I'm going to be yelling at people to start throwing water on the apothecary, even though it's not on fire yet.
Where is Whistler's body?
It's back at the temple.
The temple? Yeah.
Did we bring it back, or is it with
It's with
whoever
Sister
it is who-
Ayame.
Yeah.
We left it with her so that she could keep it in repose. Right? Is
So
that
where
so?
is Sister Ayame? Is her place in danger of the fire?
It is, but it's
Good
gonna.
spot.
It will have to go through the mayor's house first,
Can
and then go to Sister Ayame.
you bring back cremated remains? Sorry.
You can, but it requires a much higher level spell. Sandy.
Yes, Scott. So I was wondering, since we're all having so much trouble breathing, would I be woken up from the damage I possibly take while I'm sleeping?
I don't know. Considering I'm dragging you, you would probably be lower than.
Give me a Constitution saving throw with advantage, because technically you're lower, so the smoke inhalation is. You don't take damage, so you don't wake up.
You guys are gonna get
Yeah,
him
my
all the way
Constitution.
there. He's gonna like hit a pebble, take 1 damage, wake up, and go back.
Morris is carrying his head, by the way. So Zashi is dragging him, and Morris is just kind of flirting behind, just raising his head off the ground so he doesn't bash it.
Oh, I was intending to grab him by the back of his like armor and drag him so it would be his feet.
Okay, then
Yeah.
that works too.
He's gonna have really
Whatever the small part of him that you don't have.
You know, I just see her
You're like
dragging
holding
him
up
by
one
the feet.
pant leg, helping.
Yeah.
Just okay, real quick, size-wise, how big is Morris? Is he like palm, like hand-sized?
Is that
Yeah, about.
Okay. That's what I was envisioning. Just making sure it's not significantly smaller, although that would be really good.
Yeah, according to the thing, like between 8 inches to a foot. So and he's a little bit bigger than your average fairy. So yeah, probably about the size of your hand.
Okay. Thank you.
On the way back, Zashi is actually cursing up a storm.
This fucking guys.
You headed to the. Where are you guys headed?
Headed back to our temple.
Okay, so Brutus and Daco, you're fighting the fire. Sandy, sleep only lasts a minute, so like they get to basically the middle of town and you wake up.
And I'm going to disengage and sprint back.
Morris?
Well, he's grappled by Sashi.
Yeah, he's technically grappled.
And technically by Morris, too.
Do you want to roll then?
Yeah, all of you roll.
All right, acrobatics or athletics?
Athletics for the two grappling. Sandy gets to decide if he wants to do acrobatics or athletics for when he needs to escape.
Well, my rage is over, so that's an 8.
And
Sandy has a 22.
Sandy has a 22. So Sandy pops up and starts sprinting back. So 60 feet, that brings him about right to the door.
Zashi's going to turn to Morris and say, I've been dealing with this bullshit all afternoon. Do we go after him again, or do we...
Yes, Morris goes after. She's already going.
Yeah, Zashi follows Morris. She's not going to leave Morris to die. I mean, she's already pissed off that she wasn't there for Whistler, and now all of this went down.
Storm is just like, oh my god, these people.
Daco, give me another D100.
Did anyone respond to Daco telling them to start putting water on the apothecary?
Yeah, they're now making sure the apothecary won't. Whoa, okay. With that, when you start, I don't know how this happens, but with 100, the fire is going to go out. So we'll say this: as you start pouring water on the apothecary, Abernathy kind of huggles out there and is like, "What's going on?" Oh, that's not good. And he fishes something out of his pocket and just throws it, and it's this huge purple cloud just spreads out everywhere and dumps right on top of Port's area, and the fire is out.
Is it are we now covered in this stuff? Or...
Yeah, and what's really weird is the cloud starts spreading over the entire city, and it's raining this crap.
Is it PKP powder? What
Yeah,
what are we talking?
it's like PKP.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I was just about to Google what the fuck is that again.
This weird purple powder is raining all over the city.
So I don't know if you want us to do initiative things or whatnot, but I'm going to open up the door, try to lock it from the inside, then get back into the cell.
Okay.
And then lock that.
Yeah, give me an initiative because if you're gonna lock it, that's gonna require.
Well, do I get within at least far enough to rage and throw my hammer at him while he's at the door?
Yeah, I'll let you get to do that.
Because I can't move 60 feet, unfortunately.
Okay.
But I think I can throw. So it's an attack roll at disadvantage
Yeah,
negated?
it's an attack. Yeah, it would be an attack roll at disadvantage negated by reckless.
Okay. So first, let me roll my rage die again.
Okay.
So this is a 5. Okay. So plants start growing all around me.
This weird garden starts forming in the middle of a desert.
Oh wait, no, it's a ranged attack, so I can't negate it. So it's just a disadvantage.
Okay.
I missed.
Yeah, you missed. That weird hammer comes smashing in the door beside you. And can Morris give me an initiative check real quick?
Yeah.
Sandy, you're first, so you go in there and you lock the door behind you.
We can fit through the lock. The joke's on you.
Oh my god. We're just gonna use his hammer to just break the door. Yep. A little less clandestine, but effective, I guess.
Daco, you see Abernathy like walk back and you're like mutter.
Daco looks at the gnolls and says, "Crowd control, start getting this mess cleaned up." And then he starts filling in all the trenches that he made because, you can't just leave stuff like that.
Yeah. So that would bring us then to Zashi.
Yeah, I'm gonna run up to the door, try to open it. If he was able to lock it, then
It's locked.
then I'm gonna start pounding on the door, yelling out, "Sandy, what? I'm trying to save your fucking life. Get out here!"
And then Morris.
He picks up the hammer and just whacks at it. Reckless.
Give me a reckless attack against the door. I mean, it's an AC of 5, so.
So you're gonna hit it.
I could crit.
You did crit.
You
Good
did
job.
crit. Go ahead and give me damage on the door.
You just bust the
16.
whole fucking wall out.
Yeah, it's not a very good door. Most the cell doors are much better built. You just smash the lock in, the door flies open.
I do want to point out I rolled a crit and a 1.
Yeah, no. I just noticed that. That's astonishing.
All or nothing, baby.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
literally.
Sandy, it's your turn. They've just knocked it. They've just destroyed public property, which is way worse crime than you ever committed.
So I was gonna double check about the smoke, and then I was gonna do stealth.
Okay, the smoke is up on top. Like, you guys can now, like, crawl through the smoke if you wanted to. But, yeah, go ahead and give me a stealth check. Zashi and Morris, give me perception checks.
Well, so I thought it was inside, so they don't know if they saw me. So you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
like
No, I
behind
need
the
to
door.
know if... Well, no, so I'm sure you guys' passive perception is not 19.
No, it's not.
So you guys bust open the door, and you have no idea where Sandy is.
I will say what Sandy had passed to us, Zashi had put away in one of her pouches before running back after him.
Okay.
So I don't see anything.
Okay. So that's a mother. Screw this! If he can stand here on his own with the Constitution, he deserves to die. But that's okay. So then I'm just gonna start bashing all the locks on the cell door so he can't lock himself in.
Okay. Give me an attack roll against the first cell door.
Okay. Again, reckless.
Yep. You hit. Okay. You're like, you might have indents a little bit, but these are much better built doors, so kind of designed against people, punching them. And that's Sandy. Wherever you're at in the sheriff's office, you see Morris beating the crap out of his cell door.
All right. Morris, let's get out of here. Sandy.
Die well.
Sandy. Fuck. I walk out and start heading back to our temple.
Yeah, and I was still standing out there, Mike, so. No,
I'm not gonna let you kill yourself, at least not easily.
I'm gonna make you work for it.
I'm gonna make it fucking painful.
You start swinging the hammer wildly around the whole
At
area.
around this point, a
Pixie's had
dark
this
looming
conflict.
shadow kind of goes over you, Zashi. About 8 feet tall. What are you doing?
was trying to save your prisoners so that you could properly interrogate them later.
Nice.
By destroying my front door and damaging my cell. And where's your friend?
I'm over here. I didn't leave. They were trying to take
At
me
this
away.
point, like emerging from the, like just kind of rolling out of bed, like, ugh.
Are there windows?
Uh-huh.
Oh fuck! I turn invisible and fly out the window.
Oh, I may not make it. Oh, I may die.
Well, you're obviously under arrest. This is Zashi.
I know my way back. I'll go to my cell.
You're free to go. Fuck it.
The one who wants to stay has to leave. The one who wants to leave has to stay.
Who has never and will never face consequences ever in any fucking game. Oh boy.
You know, you try to do the right thing, try to back you up, and you just get stabbed in the back.
That's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Oh.
I look over at Storm and say, "You got anything to say before you leave, Storm?"
Storm shouldn't leave either. I believe Storm helped. The reason I left the first time is because Storm put me to sleep.
Damn.
Oh,
she
so you
released
did
all the-
leave.
No, I was taken away by force. That's why he came back.
Sabra, I'm pretty sure Sandy wants to just take this. He seems pretty insistent on having your attention.
I was just gonna say, Master.
It seems that you are insistent on having my attention.
Well, you are a very lovely
And
knoll.
believe me, you've got it.
Can I ask for police protection? I don't feel safe going back to where I was supposed to be. They wanted to kill me for something that I did to teach someone a lesson. I don't
We
feel
don't
safe. Is there a
really
way-
do that here.
Do you mind if I work inside the jail?
Just
Okay.
never leave this room forever.
I suppose we could use a secretary.
I live here now.
You know,
Or
The
somebody
monkey
to take
behind
down the
secretary's
confessions.
desk.
Sevra, it sounds like you are accepting the member Sandy from the murder of crows, and he is entering into your service and leaving ours. Therefore, I bid you adieu.
He's
Considering
not gonna let you leave.
Just like really polite as you're walking out the busted door. Bye.
Yes, don't forget Storm was also helping.
Storm did nothing. Storm was merely an observer.
Then how'd I fall asleep?
I don't know what you're talking about. You probably had too much smoke inhalation, which is why we were trying to get you out.
Ooh, nice.
All right, I do not have, as Becca, the words to try to convince her to make me leave, Scott. I don't.
I'm not entirely sure those words exist. Give me a persuasion check with disadvantage.
I give you the words.
Do the thing now. Oh, too late. Damn it.
No. Wouldn't have helped.
Yeah.
Storm, do you have anything to say? I don't think you're as innocent as it seems.
Oh, and Storm looks at you with these
Storm, you're
real
fast.
innocent
Just fucking
eyes.
run. Oh, he can't
I'm
hear me.
perfectly innocent, and so is my friend here, Zashi.
Okay, Storm, give me a persuasion check for yourself, and give me a persuasion check with disadvantage for Zashi is innocent.
Uh-oh.
There's one for me, and there's the one for Zashi.
Holy shit.
Ah,
You let the bard talk.
Yeah, right?
I forgot Storm was even a bard. I thought he was a cleric.
Because I have to keep on healing you guys all the time.
Doesn't say a whole lot. He just does some healing here and there. I don't know.
And I'm still
Fine.
giving that same
Fine,
smile.
fine. Zashi,
Mhm.
you are to report back here, dawn, and we are going to sort all this crap out. Sandy, you, I guess, are under our protection until which time we can figure out who's actually at fault. You take your leader. She better be here. If she doesn't show up, it's all of you are being fed to my pack. Got me?
Laugh in the face of danger. Good thing I'm
See you
not
in-
have to kill
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Savra.
good thing you and I aren't there.
See you in the morning, Zavra. By the way, you should discuss with Sandy what's happening with his shares. Are you taking them, or what for his service? I will see you in the morning, and I will leave with Storm.
Well, the get was good.
And as we start walking away and we're far enough away, I'm going to be like, I think I'm going to feed her to my pack as I out in the pouch.
I love it. Thank you, Storm. Would you mind coming with me in the morning to help settle this?
Yeah.
You are a much more eloquent speaker than I am.
As they leave, Savra turns to you, Sandy. Do you mind if I kill them all?
Probably not.
I'll have to sleep on that and get back to you.
Okay, and on that, I think that's where we'll leave off today.
Oh. Well, what about the fire?
It's out.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah, fire
Yeah, we're
Thanks to that D100 100 roll.
Thanks for that roll for miracle with double cleric.
Want to talk to Zashi? I'm like, we will probably have to kill her, though.